A short time ago, President Donald Trump became just the third president in U.S. history to be impeached. Good evening. I'm Richard Ransom.
And I'm Katina Rankin. The vote split along party lines, accuses the president of abusing the power of his office. But what happens now that the case goes to trial in the Senate? ABC's Serena Marshall picks up the story from Capitol Hill.
Article 1 is adopted.
President Donald J. Trump has officially been impeached while in office. Just the third in American history. The president impeached on 2 articles for abusing the power of his office for personal gain when he pressured the leader of Ukraine to investigate his political opponents, and obstructing Congress after he blocked documents and witnesses with direct knowledge of what occurred with Ukraine from being provided to the House committees.
And so I view this vote, as something that we did to honor the vision of our founders.
The vote followed the 6 hours of debate on the House floor, which had nearly every member of Congress speaking out for.
When you see something that is not right, not just, not fair, you have a moral obligation to say something, to do something.
And against the impeachment.
Democrats would rather trip the president just to see him stumble than see America succeed.
Well, both sides held their party lines. One member, Justin Amash, a Republican turned independent, voting with the Democrats.
His actions reflect precisely the type of conduct the framers of the Constitution intended to remedy through the power of impeachment.
Well, another, the only presidential candidate that could cast a vote, Tulsi Gabbard, voting present. Moments before the vote was set to begin, the president taking to the stage in Michigan, setting up an astounding split screen with a remarkably different tone.
It doesn't really feel like we're being impeached. They have nothing. They're the ones that should be impeached, every one of them.
Well, President Trump has now officially been impeached. His removal and conviction is up to the Senate. It's unclear what that trial will look like and whether or not there'll be witnesses, as the president has said he would like to see happen. That decision left to the minority and majority leaders, who are expected to sit down sometime tomorrow. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Serena, thank you. And Mid-South congressmen, well, they were among lawmakers who argued for and against impeaching President Trump.
What we've witnessed since September 24th, when the inquiry was announced, is that the evidence we've seen is not compelling, it's not overwhelming, and the process is undoubtedly and unquestionably not bipartisan.
The Constitution begins, "We, the people of the United States." That's us. It's not we, the leaders of Russia, Ukraine, or China, or we, the Democrats, or we, the Republicans. It's we, the people of the United States, and all Americans, and only Americans, get to have a say in our elections.
Mid-South lawmakers voted along party lines. Tennessee Democrat Steve Cohen and Mississippi Democrat Benny Thompson, they voted yes on both articles of impeachment. Tennessee Republican David Kustoff voted against impeachment, as did Republicans Trent Kelly from Mississippi and Arkansas's Rick Crawford.